Bravehearts all around the world. I'm Dr. Wolf, and this is DocStar TV. And today we're doing a one a day, and I'm going to be doing this one a day with you, and then I'm going to be switching, and we will have Terry, who created Infinite Iodine, the only non-toxic iodine in the world. And I think you're going to be really surprised. We did a show a couple of days ago, and we're going to do one more show. And the reason why we're doing this is because we have the biggest sale we've ever done with Infinite Iodine. I don't know if people know this, but we will be actually having some pretty good sales go on, because we're taking 3 fulfillment centers around the United States, closing them and opening up one, because a lot of our producers of product and bottlers and everything that we want to get for our products, they've actually upped their prices. So I was told by the people that do my business management that we would have to put our prices up 20%, but we've just found a fulfillment center, so we're going to do all our own fulfilling, which means that we'll actually be able to get people products overnight, and there is no overnight shipping in any fulfillment centers, and they don't pack properly and they don't look after your stuff properly. But it's like anything else in life, isn't it? Whether you're talking about your health or your wealth, whether you're talking about love, you know, you have to be the master of that. You can't give these precious things and put them in the hands of anyone. I mean, at the beginning, it was fine to get started with these 3 fulfillment centers, but now we're going to be able to ship it better, ship it faster, ship it safer, and guess what? We'll also be one of the only companies that hasn't put their prices up for the next year. And that's what our objective is not to buy into inflation, which inflation is just another form of taxation, but most people don't understand that, because they don't even understand that it's the same psychos who pulled COVID off that actually control all the money in the world. They go after all the banking rights in every country, and then they produce this plastic money or out of paper some places, and then they tax us on this money, which is just totally ludicrous, because all of the people that were in power that told us they were going to look after us don't. Why am I talking about this? Well, guess what? Whether you're talking about your wealth or your health, we're being raped of all of it. And the reality is that medical practitioners are not healthcare practitioners. And also, even in the world of natural health, most natural health practitioners, if you've got a 20-foot hole, they might give you a 5-foot ladder and say, climb it 4 times, you'll get out of there, but you're not going to. It's only going to be about a 15-minute one a day. I guess you're the lucky one. You don't have to listen to me that long. But the reality is if you have a question or you want me to do something for you, I will do my best to do it. So here's somebody asked me to do a favor. So here it is. Today we're going to talk about calcium deposits in the breast. Now, I'm going to say something that's a little shocking to people, okay? This woman, she's 51 years old, okay? And guess what? She does not have a diagnosis of stage 1, 2, 3, or 4 cancer. Okay? 1 second, everyone. Hi, Lori. I'm just going live. I am live, actually. Want to say hi to everybody? Everybody, this is my partner, Lori, and she's traveling. She's the one who got the fulfillment center. Now she's on her way to Puerto Rico to do paperwork for our university. Anyways, do you want me to call you back, hon, when I have time?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
So you can see it's real TV. Okay. Now the reality is that she has calcium deposits. Okay. All right. From the size of a small marble to those big, large marbles, and they're in both breasts. Now, she had implants. When she got the implants out, okay, understand this. First of all, the longer you have implants, the more toxic your tissues are going to be. Do you understand that? The longer you have implants, the more calcium you're going to pull from your sternum, you're going to pull from your ribs, and you're going to pull it from your actual skeletal of your neck, okay, and your upper vertebrae, okay? All right. So you're going to lose bone calcium. Remember something. The last time that you had a sliver in your finger or your toe, guess what? It was irritating you, wasn't it? It actually got maybe red, it got infected, it got puffy, there was pain, and that was just a little sliver. Now put 2 implants, okay, all right, underneath the skin or underneath the muscle, which is even worse, okay? But the reality is just from the foreign objects in here create irritation, which causes inflammation. So we're not even talking about the implants actually leaking. We're talking about a big foreign object that is sitting just above your lungs, sitting just beside your heart and on top of your heart. So don't tell me that you're not going to have trouble. And that's not even, there's no leaking going on, doesn't have to be. It's just the irritation that causes the inflammation, that causes the scar tissue formation, because scar tissue is caused because inflammation means inflame, and that's dehydration. And understand, dehydration means lack of circulation and lack of electrical energy within the tissue itself, which means the life force is gone. It doesn't mean that the actual scar tissue is dead. It means it has very little circulation, because when things die, they rot. And understand something, most women, when they get their breast implants out, they can smell the rotting tissue. When they take the breast implants out, you can smell. It's like a rotting carcass. And that's what most people are doing in their pelvis, is rotting out. Okay? But we're not going to talk about that tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to talk about how every disease, okay, means that that tissue in that body is rotting. Go figure, eh? Your doctor didn't tell you that. Your health practitioner didn't tell you that, did they? Okay, hold on a second. 51 years old. Calcium deposits all around and in the breast. Thyroid problems. Well, trust me. Okay, first of all, 1974, they took iodine out of all the foods, and they put in bromide. That was to help to stop iodine from being delivered to everyone. So people started really going crazy with their actual thyroid problems, and there was people that were getting weight loss and weight gain. Now, the weight loss people who can't gain weight, okay, they're the ones that are like the real, oh, I've just got to figure this out. Oh, I got to worry. I'm the keeper of everyone around me. I'm the caretaker of everyone around me. And that's usually what you'll find. That person will have trouble gaining weight. I'm not saying all the time, but understand something. Yes, 2 things for thyroid problems. Lack of iodine, but the lack of proper iodine. How many people here know that Lugos iodine and Nacean iodine are toxic? You heard what I said. And they are more of medications. You can't take those every day, but people do, and they get into trouble. Whether you believe it or not, do your homework. Oh, the Infinite iodine that I sell is pure, and we have women, okay, or men taking up to 1.5 ounces, because guess what? How many people know that iodine is responsible to actually turn on the switch for cell death of a cancer cell? Did you know that? Yeah. Calcium ions and iodine ions are responsible for that. And that's why anybody that has stage 1, 2, 3, 4 inflammation, or they call it cancer, needs to be on Merigen, which is a calcium ion therapy product, if they want to save themselves and turn this around. And they need to be on iodine. Now, the reality is the Merigen will actually pull the calcium that's in the breast, around the breast, that has been pulled out of the ribs, and pulled out of the vertebrae, and pulled out of the clavicle, and pulled out of the sternum, okay? It's going to put it back in there. Exactly where the calcium deposits came out of, Merigen will actually take the calcium and bring it back into the bones where it came from. That's a miracle. It's the only product that can do it in the world. Oh yeah, there's another one called Cardigen, which is for the knees, another one for Dentagen, which is for the jaw and the teeth. Another one called Alzagen, which is for the brain. Another one that's called Ozo Junior, which is for children under 12. So understand, this product is a miracle product. If you go to my library and go to Doc of Detox library, and then click on the library and go into the calcium ion therapy guide, get ready to be blown away. Get ready to be blown away by my iodine as well. Let's keep going. Okay, so she actually had back surgery, but actually she had surgery. Oh, you're gonna love this, you're gonna love this. So she's got a thyroid problem, right? Are you with me? I hope you're with me on this one. because all I want you to do is I want you to become a health detective. I want you to stay logical. That means that you cannot think like a medical doctor because they're not logical at all. Okay, these guys, they had to be built up so much, like they're the high priestess of health, okay, which is like a bloody religion, okay? And the reality is, if they say something, you can't question them. And even if it's not logical, well, you're just stupid, so that's it. You just don't understand it because you're just too stupid, right? That's why all of their words are in Greek and nobody can understand them. And the names for their products, they just make them up like I don't know, Exubadubu. You know, Exubadubu 9. Oh, wow, what is that for? Wow. So everything is to create an illusion and confusion and a distraction, okay? All right? So that you can't feel that you can take your life back. And I'm telling you right now, if you don't want to be the one that looks after you, you will never get your life back. There is not a practitioner. Myself, I cannot be responsible for you. There's only one cure. You're the cure that you've been seeking and searching for. So think about it. Her thyroid's here. Her neck is where? Right here. She got the surgery on her cervical spine. And the thyroid's here. So what do you think? It's just like your adrenals that sit on top of your kidneys. People are having kidney problems because they're tapping their adrenals all the time in fight or fright and flight. Do you think that when you're not stressing out in your mind, that guess what? That the thyroid isn't all fired up and that it's not demanding calcium from the cervical spine or from the clavicle area or from the sternum area or from the ribs? Are we kidding? And then guess what? Not that she just had a thyroid on fire, but guess what? What causes more scar tissue and more calcification than anything else? Okay? We know that breast implants do a lot. They already talked about the sliver effect, but guess what? Surgery causes more scar tissue because of the inflammation. Nothing inflames the body more than cutting into it with a knife, because all of those cells, okay, they have a nervous system, okay? They're alive. They have a brain, they have a liver, they have a kidney. They have everything that you have in your body, they have. And guess what? They get terrorized just like you do. Here it comes the knife, ah! Right? So when they freak out, the cell gets thicker and more fibrin comes in the area, and guess what? That cuts off circulation. So remember something. Every problem is first caused by a physical block. Every problem in the body that's physical was caused by a physical block. And that was scar tissue, crystallization, and calcification. You get that? What I'm really amazed about is with her type of thyroid situation, I think she weighs about, 115 pounds. So we know that she's not overweight. I guarantee you she has trouble gaining weight. I guarantee you she's losing muscle right now. Because you'll lose muscle the more inflamed you are. But here's the deal. She's got these huge marble size, from small to large, calcium deposits all over her breast area, in both breasts. But she doesn't have what they would call cancer. But she is still inflamed. But thank God that her body pulled all of that calcium from her ribs, her sternum, and her neck, even though that caused her to have surgery. Because guess what? Now her cervical spine looks like Swiss cheese, and it's beef jerky because of the inflammation causes dehydration. So the connective tissue is now just beef jerky. Go chew on a piece of that. Okay? Okay, so now, when she was younger, she had bowel problems, and so did every other child. Parents don't feed their children right. They don't know how to feed their children right. No guilt here. This is a no guilt trip. Okay? You don't know how to feed them right because guess what? You got out of grade 12 or whatever. You didn't know how to love yourself, care for yourself, feed yourself, or feed anybody else. And it's not your fault. We're all set up. But we should damn well know right now that government is just full of lies. The government isn't broken. The medical system isn't broken. This is what the medical system does. They do emergency care. You want to use them as your health care? Well, then you're going to be a 911 emergency, and that's it. You don't want to take responsibility, connect to your breath, wear a slight smile, put your shoulders back, okay? You don't want to realize that what you speak and think is everything, okay? All right, that is the power of a creator. What do you think and what do you speak? Go take a look at your life. Look at your body. Look at your finances. Look at your health. Look at the rest of your family, how they interact with you. Look at how the world interacts. Look at the way you think of the world. And this has all got to do with your belief systems that you don't even know that you actually believe are yours. I don't know, you believe God gave you your personality? No. It was just all thrown in together, okay, by all the systems out there, which are mainly corrupt, and your parents that were corrupted. That's why it's called adulteration. I know I'm off track, but all of these people, especially your parents, they loved you with all their heart. I want to know who's going to stop the family curse. All right, let's keep going. So she was pooping in her pelvis all her life. You cannot have a breast problem, whether you have painful breasts, swollen breasts, whether you have fibroids in your breasts, okay, unless you've been pooping in your pelvis, you backed up your liver, you backed up the lymph. The lymph dumps in, which this is your lymph nodes right here, right? Why don't you take a good smell? They shouldn't smell at all, okay? You should be, having this gentle sweating that you're not ever soaked, okay? And you should never say, I don't sweat anymore, because that means you pooped in your pelvis so much, you've got poop in your pores. You can't even sweat anymore, you're so jammed up jelly tight. And remember, you got 8 pints of blood, but you got 12 quarts of lymph, and your lymph is a big deal. That is a main part of your immune system. So understand this. So now she's backed up in her bowel, backed up in her liver, and because you know what? What do you think? You can have all these calcium deposits and all this trouble in here if your lymph nodes weren't backed up? So we know she's got to clean her colon. She's got to cleanse the colon, daily cleansing tea, black gold. Okay, that would be really great if she did that. It'll do it. Doing the ultimate coffee enema, one a day for 20 days. The ultimate, not just a coffee enema. And guess what? Now we're on a roll. We can bring down and lighten that putrefacted load that's sitting in her pelvis, which is a soup bowl. So just know she's infected down here as well. But we're going to go to where the child's screaming the most. Even though there's 10 kids in here, the one that we're going to go over to is the one who screams the most. Watch when she gets this problem taken care of. She's going to find she has other problems unless she wants to do what? Learn how to do the perfect day. If you haven't done this already, download pdgfree.com. That's my perfect day guide. And I'm going to tell you something. You can believe it or not. We are having thousands of downloads per week, thousands of downloads around the world. And we have medical doctors, chiropractors. We have from every walk of life that are actually using my manual, and they are incorporated into their clinics. All right? My manual, The Perfect Day, is used more in homeschooling than any other health manual that I know of, okay? And the reality is here is, guess what? The truth does set you free. That's the reality. And the truth is, you need to become your own practitioner, your own hero. You need to become the master of your mind. It's called a mindset. Who is setting your mind? Did someone else set it, or did you set it? Okay? Had traumatic relationships when young. Who didn't? Okay? But the reality is she hung on to them. You need to take nothing personal. If you're not sitting in a place in your life where you do not have to go back there and try to forgive all these people that hurt you, they didn't hurt you. They were hurting themselves, and you were just in the way. Okay, you know what? My father used to beat me. Yeah, because he was beat. Or he felt that beating you was the best way to keep things going, or how to keep you safe. I mean, people are really screwed up. I mean, trust me when I say this, okay? I've been around for a while. I'll be 67 pretty soon. And I'm going to tell you, I've never seen people so messed up in their lives. Okay, between money, between greed, between poverty thinking, between freaking out it's the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. The world is changing, and you have to embrace change. You don't have to embrace it all. Well, let me ask you a question. Did you watch the Super Bowl? I didn't. I would never do that. And understand that. So understand that the Super Bowl was watched by the majority of the population around the world. Okay, the majority of the population do not rule the world. They are being ruled, and that's it. All right? There's so many more important things I think I could do in my day. And if you like sports, that's great. But why don't you go play them? You'll live longer and you'll be stronger. Okay, just look at the way these guys are now. the way they talk about sports like some religion, and understand something. It's not good. It's not good. Wait until they see what's going to happen in the next few weeks to a few months. They're going to get their pants pulled down. All right. Worries, fear for the family, eats healthier now. So she has had 7 cell-sonic treatments. The first 2 cell-sonic treatments did not take very well. Well, why? She's got rocks. Okay, you do know that rocks are mainly made out of calcium. She's got rocks in her breast. If she doesn't stop terrorizing herself and making herself responsible, do you know why people do that? Why they terrorize themselves and make themselves responsible for everything that goes on around them? Because suffering is the way to love. Suffering is the way to the Lord. Suffering is the way to prove that you're a worthy person. I will not suffer for anyone, but I will be there for everyone that I can be there for. And I would never be able to do what I do if I believed that suffering was the way. I mean, seriously? I mean, come on. I mean, if your religion believes that suffering is the way and that guilt and judgment are part of it, wow, then I'm going to tell you, you're going to spend a lot more money or you're just never going to get well, because that's a sick belief in itself. Okay, so anyways, so this lady is starting to come around. You know, she's had 7 cell-sonics and 2 non-surgical treatments. Now, she wants to do the cell-sonic because there's absolutely no pain. And when she does the cell-sonic, she can see the difference in these calcium deposits, because cell-sonic is the most powerful energy medicine device in the world. And cell-sonic can actually shut down stage 4 inflammation in 1 treatment. It doesn't mean it's not going to come back, because you'd have to change your personality. First of all, you have to stop terrorizing yourself and stop making yourself responsible for your children, your husband, and everything else that's going on in the world. People don't believe this, but you need to understand this. If she were to say, I am going to have unconditional love for myself, I'm going to focus on myself from the morning until night, what would somebody do if they totally love themselves and they let go of all the guilt and all the judgment from maybe from the religion, or maybe from the schools they went, or the way their parents raised them, or the things that people say? Oh my God, tell me that the majority of the population doesn't try to get what they want by using guilt. Tell me they don't. And I'll tell you that's not true. Everybody doesn't people are not bad. They got bad beliefs. They've got beliefs that if they don't use guilt and judgment, they're not going to get what they want in their life. And if they don't scream and holler, trust me, it's not the way to go. I'm going to be talking more in depth as time goes on about really what goes on this planet. I mean, if you're involved in politics, or you're involved heavily, really deep with a religion that is based on guilt and judgment, okay, of yourself and others, I really feel for you. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. If you were to totally unconditionally love and care for yourself today, and every time that you have that feeling that you need to suffer, 3, 2, 1, I got this. 3, 2, 1, that's the old me. We count backwards because the subconscious can't count backwards. So when we count backwards, that keeps everything in the present moment. I hope you know this, everyone, that when you stay in the present moment, that's the only place that nobody can own you. When you're in the past and when you're worried about your future, you are owned by everyone and everything, and you're exhausted. There's no way that you are going to complete your mission down here, find your passion, find your purpose, and have what you deserve as long as you believe in these tyrants. These tyrants have been around since the beginning, okay? They don't feed off the good graces of that which created the universe, which people call God or Source. They feed off of human beings. Whether you believe it or not, this woman here has been through hell, and they feed off of her by creating fear in her. She has been fearful since she was a little girl. That's why her thyroid problems, that's why she has big calcium deposits. That's why she's got Swiss cheese, okay, for bones in this area, because whatever the emotion is, every different type of negative emotion has its own frequency. I have this negative emotion, I have this negative emotion, and this one. And that creates a certain frequency, which creates a certain disease. That means that you're out of ease. You're not in alignment. You're not in harmony. You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. And understand something. The medical system should only have 2% of healthcare because they are in the emergency care system. So you believe that taking drugs, getting radiation, chemotherapy is the way to go? Let me tell you something. You can be into natural health and you could have created something. I've got somebody that created something very special in natural health. Something so beautiful. And then his second wife doesn't believe in natural health. Not like he does. So he ends up getting a prostate problem. So now he has a prostate problem. She says, no, you need to do this. I don't want to lose you. Because of her fear, he decided to get chemo and radiation. And now he's going through hell. Now he's on hormone blockers. Okay. Now he's on all kinds of drugs because now he's in. He's been locked in. He can't sleep at night. He sweats all bloody night. He says it's been hell for the last few months and he doesn't seem like he's coming out of it. And he wishes he didn't do it. See, let me tell you something. People may love you, but their fear will kill you. And understand something right now, and I did say kill. And understand something. I would never, ever, ever, ever want to have an autoimmune disease that was life-threatening, okay, and be a woman, okay, or be in a family of people that didn't believe in, they believe in God, but they go to a medical doctor. Oh, really? I'm not telling you not to go to a medical doctor. I'm just trying to tell you that you go ahead and go to one. But are you, from the moment you rise until you close your eyes, embracing unconditional love and care for yourself? Have you figured out on how to go in and detoxify all of the organs, okay? Your detoxifying organs, which the whole body's almost made of them, right? So we've got a body made out of detoxifying organs. And understand something. I challenge you to go back to 1930 and look at a beach. Look at downtown New York. Go to anywhere you want around the world and you will not see fat people. You will not see people with canes, walkers. You will not see people with their heads down like this. We have been so programmed, and that's why they call this the harvest. Whether you believe it or not, the woman with the problem with her calcium deposits in her breast and everything's going on, she is harvesting herself for these psycho killers. The majority of the population is harvesting themselves because they've been programmed by these psychos, and this has been going on since the beginning of humankind on this planet. And understand this, nobody's coming to save you. Let's find out, okay? Let's find out if Daryl's wrong. Nobody's coming to save you. There'll be times when things slow down and you'll feel better and go, but the reality is if you're very fearful and you're stressed out, you don't feel anything except fearful and stressed and exhausted. And then as soon as things calm down, that's when you get the cold and the flu. That's when you get diagnosed with an autoimmune disease because you've been terrorizing yourself and destroying yourself because you believe they're BS. I'm going to tell you, if you follow me, like on here, never follow me, follow yourself. But if you follow me this next year, watch what I do and watch what I accomplish. I will accomplish more in 1 year than most people in 10 years. You know why? Because I don't live anything like the majority. I am the minority of the minority. I eat 1 meal a day. Okay, I actually believe in my nutraceuticals. I believe in prayer. I believe in meditation. I believe in not wearing shoes. Okay, I believe in having a slight smile on no matter what's going on, staying connected to my breath. I believe in giving myself a kiss as often as possible. There's one, listen, that's it. So I'm snapping myself back to the present moment. This is snug as a hug, and this is a kiss, and I'm going to remind myself that I'm in charge. I'm in charge. I fear nothing, and I fear no one, and I am immortal. I am immortal in the way that, yes, this body, someday I will give it up. But guess what? I don't die. Okay, I don't die. Just like when me and my children's mother when we finally went apart from each other, I didn't do divorce, and I don't do disease. You are never going to hear that Dr. Wolf has a disease. That's just a belief system that 99.9% of the population believe that disease is normal. And I'm telling you that it is not normal, and you've all been sucker punched. And I know that you can hardly go, this guy's a nutbag. What is he even talking about? Everybody gets sick. No, I don't. I don't get sick. I get tired, okay? All right? I get tired, but I don't get sick. You know, you're only going to become something because you believe in it. And let me tell you something right now. Our ignorance, okay, is compliance to them. And understand this. Nobody knows about health. I mean, the people that even work for me doing the videos and the graphic work, and they really don't know about health. I know that Nat does because he went and redid the whole Perfect Day guide, so he understands it. I bet he's changed. Most of these people will never change. There'll be people who work for me and they'll come and they'll go, Dr. Wolf, I can't come in because I have to go for heart surgery. And I'll go, okay, take care. And you're going to go, what? Well, why didn't you tell them about what you do, that you could actually put them on the cardio med bed for 35 hours, and guess what? You can reverse heart disease. That's right, a whole new set of arteries. Well, because they already know what I do. And understand something, whether you believe it or not, you were programmed to suffer. You were programmed to sell yourself off by the pound. And guess what? That's how we show love, isn't it? We show love to our family by how much we suffer for them, how much we suffer for the world. So for the majority, I'm not their guy. I'm not their guy. You know what I mean? I'm not their guy. Who do you think you are, putting a slight smile on your face when the world's suffering? I don't know. Do you think that we need another person suffering? Do you think that I might be adding to the problem if I was suffering too? Do you think that if I held the line and kept a slight smile on my face and tried to become the light for people, that I should be thrown up on the cross too? You think about that today. You think about that. Okay. 1 second here. Can you bring this up for me? Let me see. How do I get to the... Oh, I got it. Okay. Dr. Wolf, what about implants of dental? Is it the same? No, it's not. But make sure that if you have weak bones, that you get on Dentagen and Merigen, and I guarantee you, if they say that they can't do an implant, in 6 weeks to 3 months, you can do all the implants you want. Dentagen and Merigen will totally rebuild the jaw. Okay, if you get a tooth pulled, okay, you don't have to do anything except take Dentagen and Merigen, and that'll fill in within 3 weeks to 5 weeks. Did you hear what I said? Yes, it will. The bone will be in. I'm telling you, we know things, okay? We know things. Your body's amazing, okay? They took away amazing a long time ago. They took away amazing as soon as the AMA came about. Yes, they did. Don't tell me about all the medical breakthroughs. They're medical breakdowns, for God's sakes. Yes, they can set a broken leg. Yes, they can save people. But understand, they are the third leading cause of, you know what, in North America. All right. That's great question. I wonder about that too. They said root canals are not good. Root canals are the worst. We're not talking about the same thing. There is no such thing as a healthy root canal. And they're going to want to try to get you to do it. Do not. Get it pulled and then let it heal with Dentagen and Merigen. And if you take IGF 300,000, that'll help even more. And I'll teach you how to not have to do antibiotics. You don't. You know what? When I get a whole bunch of dental work done, I got a ton of work done about a year ago. And the dentist, I really like her. But they're all terrorized. But Daryl, Dr. Wolf, you've got to take these antibiotics. And I just said to her, okay, I'll take them. And then guess what? When I came back in to get my implants put in, okay, she goes, oh my God, see, aren't you so glad you did the antibiotics, how it worked so well? And I said, I never took them. And she, what? You never took them? Oh my God, it looks so good. I go, yes, you've been programmed, and I will not be programmed. Okay. No, they're not the same. All right, so here's the deal. We do antibiotics only for life-threatening situations. If you want a life-threatening situation, go take your antibiotics. If you want to know how you can build up your immune system more powerful than any antibiotic that's out there, and I'm not telling you, the guy that says, oh my God, you know what? This infection's so bad that you could die. I say take those antibiotics, get yourself out of the woods. But that's 1 out of 10,000, okay? They give everybody antibiotics, okay? That's all they've got. There's nothing to go to. They're either gonna chop something out of you, okay, or they're gonna give you drugs or antibiotics. What else do they do? You're gonna call radiation health? You're gonna call chemo health? That's mustard gas. I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just trying to tell you. What would you do if you unconditionally loved yourself today? And guess what? Let me see here. 15 years ago, I ran the Wolf Clinic. In Wolf Clinic, we were in the top 100,000 all the websites in the world. And I didn't even mean to do this, but I was into treating cancer patients like you would not believe. And the reality is I don't want to. I want to treat everyone that they never ever have a disease, that they stay at ease, that they're in harmony. Because guess what? What you speak and think means everything. Take a look at your life and you'll see that's it. I got to run. I'm going to be back on here in a few minutes with Terry, who invented infinite iodine, which is non-toxic, no matter how much you took, but if you take too much, it's wasteful. And the reality is it will actually neutralize a virus in 15 seconds. And it has been shown to neutralize every virus that has ever been, and even the worst ones. Okay? So understand that. Let's make this perfectly clear. You have an amazing body, and you better think outside the box, or better still, get rid of the box. Thanks for joining me. And don't forget, the Infinite Iodine sale is going to be on for the rest of the week. And then we'll be doing our big moving sale. Instead of paying these big box companies to gouge us, to pick and wrap and ship, we're going to pass all that on to you. And don't forget to download pdgfree.com and then challenge me. God bless.